president. So last minute rush continues. Let me welcome my colleagues.
PVC
Of course, PVC extension. That's another one. 2 extension now. We have more time to queue for PVC, more time to queue at the ATM to collect new Naira notes, and more time to queue to buy fuel. In Nigeria, it's all queues become part of our culture. What we have in our partner, what we shouldn't be queuing for, we are queuing for. Abulo Semwagu is there, Sholaja Simi, Hadiza Audu, and Teve Tiaf. Gentlemen, welcome to the program. Where do we start from? Is it
Let's look at the extensions.
Okay.
Good morning, Amici. Good morning, my colleagues. Good morning, dear listener. Well, it didn't come to me as a surprise, the extension of the the Naira swap, but the PVC came to me as a surprise. This is twice it's been extended now, which further draws Teve's assumption to come closer to his dormant. Teve has prophesied that the election from February 25.
Yeah,
it was a
based
prophecy.
on history. Look at what we've seen.
Yes, with all this now, extension. So Teve's prophecy might come to be that 25th of February 25 might be shifted. But I mean, to be that as it may, Nigerians are
no,
not,
but INEC has said it will not be shifted. So we'll stand.
You know, my
INEC.
position is let INEC go write the exam and give him the benefit of the doubt that he will pass the exam. And Amici, the queues yesterday were something else. You saw the queue, the people trying to change money. You saw the filling station queue, people trying to buy fuel. You saw the queue, people trying to collect their PVC. As you said, rightly said, Nigerians are we used to queues? I mean, it shouldn't be like this. We like the last minute rush, but people have faulted the time the policy came, and I have held my position that even if it is the midnight where the chief executive is handing over and an idea came to him, he should bring it up. That is why we elected him. That's why he was appointed. Okay. So I want to see Nigerians managing the situation so that the 10 days for the swap will not be rushing to bank on the 10th day. Because already now, the vulcanizers are rejecting old notes, the Okada people are rejecting old notes, the market women are rejecting old notes. So if we go in that mindset, I think before the 10th, Nigerians should be able to submit all old notes.
I saw Mr. Godwin Emefiele yesterday, and I could see the
in Daura.
Well,
why is it that the 2 times he had made statements, or 3 times, if I'm not sure, about the Naira swap, it was in Daura, the president's residence in Daura?
It's instructive. It's a political stroke by Godwin Emefiele and his team at the CBN. We should remind ourselves that Mr. Emefiele has been under a series of attacks, from all ends. Over, number one, his purported, although some have said, yes, he threw his hat into the ring, his purported partisanship, in the run-up to the primaries of the APC. So some say he's a technocrat who has political agbada that he's wearing. So for Mr. Emefiele to go to Daura, it's clear he needs, at this time, the optics of the backing of the president, because the DSS is after him. So many people have been shouting. Lawmakers are saying, no, you can't do this. We represent the people.
House of Reps are threatening to order his arrest.
Exactly. And even yesterday, the chair of the other committee set up in the House of Representatives to look into this whole issue about the Naira swap and redesign and all that. Dogua said, you must extend it further than this. That we need at least 6 months.
So, Shala, each time he goes to Daura on this Naira swap, the picture of him with the president is released, and he speaks to the press in front of the president's house. Is it to send a message that whatever you do, whatever your machinations are, I stand gidigba with the commander-in-chief?
That's clearly what it is. So, but for me, I look at it from this perspective. We clamor for the independence of the Central Bank of Nigeria. And when I saw that yesterday, I said, Mr. Emefiele knows what he's doing. But those who may be looking from outside, because I just pictured in my mind, what's her name? Yellen, the lady, not Yellen, the Governor Kenny, the governor of the Central Bank of the US, the Federal Reserve, or is it the Bank of England?
Federal Reserve.
I just picture either of them, rushing to
White House.
No, not the White House. Wilmington in Delaware.
Okay, the Biden's,
Joe Biden's personal house,
where he was keeping official documents.
So I just picture that happening, and I wonder what that signal sends to the stakeholders in the financial services sector. But we know that Mr. Emefiele needs any kind of political backing he needs now.
At the highest level.
Yes, so that those who he says are after him for the policies he has introduced at the central bank, they will know that, like you said, gidigba, that you can't touch me while I'm with
It's
this
just
man.
like a family setting, Hadiza.
Yes.
A son takes an action that the father supports, but every other person are angry with the son, the mother, the siblings, and the son will always run to the father to protection. That is exactly what is happening in Daura's Emefiele visits. If you blindfold him now, he can find his way around Daura. He knows it so well.
That's true, Amechi, and of course, we've also seen President Muhammadu Buhari coming all out to support Emefiele, particularly during his field with National Assembly. But all well and good, there was nothing, there was no way out. Nigeria was going to be in a typical bad situation. It was going to result to chaos. It was going to result to confusion. It was going to the economy was going to be shut down if this extension was not given.
And Kano governor had to, what people say, threaten Buhari not to come to the state if he doesn't do something about it.
Well, that's true. So we expected it. I expected it during the weekend or between Friday and Saturday. I knew it was going to come on. And then another thing is that can we also say that they're also bowing to Tinubu's blackmail, according to TV? Can we say that Tinubu's blackmail worked also? Because we also have to take a look at the political implication of what has happened. Could it also be that the politicians are also on him, on his neck, and they're like, if you don't do this, would make Nigeria unbearable. INEC, there'll be no election or stuff like that. So there are political implications, economic implications, social implications. How do people feed? How do you think small businesses would run in this kind of chaotic situation?
Well, let's wait to see whether by February 10, a lot of this problem will be solved. But Teve, coming on Oshun election, of course, the judgment came on Friday after we left this program. The tribunal said it established overvoting in several polling stations, and they deducted the votes from, cancelled all the votes from these polling stations, many of them where there was overvoting, and by the time they calculated, APC's Oyetola was ahead, and they awarded him the election. PDP is saying, no, you should have ordered for rerun in these places, but the critical thing there is BVAS. BVAS was supposed to dictate and stop overvoting, but apparently it didn't.
Amaji, good morning to you. Good morning, listener. I think we should give thumbs up for BVAS because the judgment of that tribunal is based on what the BVAS provided. Provided in the sense that, number of persons accredited for the elections. We just need to do some little adjustment in how we handle our elections moving forward so that this issue of integrity and all of that will not become a huge crisis the way we had the incident form when we were using the card reader, as it were. I mean, we had a situation where, INEC printed from what we were told, the data from the server, and then PDP went back after some days and they said they needed to be there's a particular word they use, synchronization, that some of the data were not available at the time they printed for, the APC. But one thing is clear in all of this, that we can fall back to a system where we get the exact number of persons who, were accredited to vote. PDP is not saying, look, there was no overvoting in this place. That's not what they are saying. They are saying, look, the data that INEC gave us, some of the data they gave to APC, some of the polling units and some of the data had not been uploaded as at the time it was printed for APC.
And that was the data this data is number of those accredited by BVAS.
Yeah, BVAS. You know, so it means that we're heading into a situation where, you know, we might have to have some days before elections are announced if we have to do this together. And some of us, when this BVAS thing came up, we were of the opinion that INEC should, you know, parties should provide agents at the back end where this INEC is monitoring this
INEC server.
The INEC server. There should be party agents there, so that, you know, there is no issue of, you know.
And what's their sense? So that if they detect any overvoting, they raise alarm, and it could be that way. But INEC, the Electoral Act, empowers the polling official to detect overvoting. It didn't happen.
The polling official was the one who did the overvoting.
So why was that not detected? As of the time of collating those results.
Yes.
Are we saying the BVAS didn't work as at that time? Is that what it is?
So that's what people are saying. Those officials should be brought and held to account. Why did you not detect it?
Why did not detect
Are you not culpable? We need to take out punitive actions against them.
That's what people are saying. I meant it clearly, Tevye, sorry. Some people should go to jail for this.
Yes.
Simple. That's my comment.
Okay, Shola.
One key point is this. The State House of Assembly elections provides an opportunity for Demola Adeleke and his corps